procedurally we're still okay.
Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you to the August 16th meeting of the Oklahoma City Water Utilities Trust. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the August 2nd meeting. They're in your packet. Are there any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Is there a motion for approval? We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Next up is a consent docket. There are a number of items on the agenda, some contract awards, some plans to be put out for bid, a number of change orders. Number of items. Are there any items that the trustees have questions on or would like to pull out for individual consideration?
May I ask a question about the L and N on the property being transferred to COTPA? One's an outright deed and the other's just 5 years. Do you know the difference and why that exists?
Yes, sir. The outright deed, they're building the end of the line bus station for their rapid rail or rapid bus service. And then there's a parking lot there that they're going to be using along with us, and that's the lease. So the deed is for a small piece just for the bus stop. The lease is for the parking lot.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Other questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a motion for approval? We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Item 4 is a concurrence docket. There are 3 items on the concurrence docket. 2 of them do not include any funding from Aqua. The third one is an increase in the size of a water line that does include funding for Aqua down near the Scissortail Park. Are there any questions regarding any of the 3 items on the concurrence docket? Is there a motion? And a second. Please vote. It passes unanimously. Item 5 is an emergency contract. It's a resolution for an emergency contract, a sanitary sewer replacement project, contract with Jordan Contractors for a sewer line. It's kind of over by Jimmy Stewart Golf Course in the amount of $124,010. Are there any questions or comments regarding that?
Just curious, did we have a collapse there or leak?
Yes, sir. We are in the process of examining our entire sewer system, and when we find an area that has collapsed or imminent collapse is determined by the engineer, then we do an immediate repair on that segment.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Please record your vote. And it passes unanimously. There are no items for individual consideration. Are there any items from the trustees this afternoon? Seeing none, general manager reports. Mr. Browning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The pro forma early in the year, the revenues are on track, the expenditures are on track. We have been selling quite a bit of water, but we do have a 5% plus or minus on both expenses and revenues, and right now we're still on track with a plus or minus 5%. I do want to give you all an update. We met with the Corps of Engineers, the Canton Lake Association, the Oklahoma Wildlife Conservation folks, and the OWRB to talk about a water release from Canton. It was determined that the release could be executed immediately. Our current agreement is public hearing in 30 days, but because of the hot, dry weather and the rate at which the lakes are falling, the levels are falling. Everybody agreed that an immediate release was in everyone's best interest. So last Thursday, the Corps opened the gates. We're drawing 8,000 acre feet from Canton Lake. It should take about 9 days. Right now, it's not in the canal yet. It's in the El Reno, Yukon area. So it's not quite here yet. So we're not seeing any elevation change at Lake Hefner. They ramped up quickly so that we could get as much water down as we could, as fast as we could, to keep from losing so much in absorption and evaporation. We expect to lose about a third of that water on the way down, particularly as hot and dry as it's been. That release will drop Canton a little less than 2 feet, and it'll raise Hefner a little more than 2 feet. The yield won't be quite that at Hefner because it's continuing to drop. So we're at about 4.5 feet, and we'll probably be at around 3 feet when the water finally gets here and starts to fill the lake. So that is the status on Hefner. Do you all have any questions about that?
No?
Okay, we've been getting a lot of media coverage about that, but we are in full compliance with our agreement. Then the last thing I have is you have a booklet in front of you. About 3 years ago, the Water Trust agreed to enable us to enter into an agreement with the Oklahoma Quality Foundation and hire a consultant to come in and help us develop a continuous improvement program for the utility. I've said this a number of times, one of our biggest challenges is to balance sustainability and affordability, and the only way we can do that is to continue to get better at what we do. So the process is we evaluate our organization. We fill out an application, and before you is that application, and you can see it's a pretty comprehensive application. But it highlights our entire organization. This process includes financial management, the employee engagement, our customer engagement, our operations in general, our leadership in general. And so this booklet identifies where we are right now, who we are right now. And this application went to the Quality Foundation, and they will evaluate our application. And then if they believe that we are top tier, they will come in and do a peer review. If not, they'll respond to our application and tell us where we may have fallen a little short. So I'm interested in hearing both, where we're doing well, where they believe we're falling short. Once we achieve the goal of receiving an award from the Quality Foundation, when they believe we're one of the top tier organizations, and this isn't top tier water utilities. There are no other water utilities in the nation who have successfully achieved the award. The first step is Oklahoma. The next step is the Malcolm Baldrige Award. The Malcolm Baldrige Award was developed by Congress in '87 to help the U.S. businesses get better so that they can benefit from a higher market share worldwide. So this whole program is a continuous improvement program. And one of the recipients is Ritz-Carlton. And so we would be in that same league if we were to win this award. It's not about the award, it's about developing a continuous improvement program and understanding who we are and where we are compared with top tier businesses throughout the nation. There are only a handful of cities who have achieved this level of performance. So we're excited. We submitted the application on August the 8th. We have a meeting with the peer committee this week, and we'll find out whether or not they're interested in coming to take a look. But even if they don't, we're going to get feedback that's valuable, where we can see where we need to make some improvements. And so I just wanted you all to have a copy of the application. It's a long read, but it's a pretty good read. We were limited to only 50 pages. And we had to get it to 50 pages, believe it or not. So it's very well written. and I was excited to see it. Tells us a lot of things about ourselves that I forgot, because we are engaged in quite a few things. So I wanted you to have a copy, and we'll keep you informed of our progress.
Very good. Thank you for taking the initiative on that.
And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Browning? I'm not aware of any citizens that have signed up to speak. Therefore, we are adjourned.